Hey y'all, hey, happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday. Welcome to the subscriber only live. Listen, if you are a part of the replay gang, then go ahead and comment down in the comment section as we get into it. Listen, the reason why I made this a subscribers only live is because I'm trying to get my numbers up and I don't want any foolishness. Okay, I don't want any riffraff. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get into it like we like to get into it, and then we gonna move on. Okay, because we don't know these heifers. Thank you, Maisha. Please, everybody hit the like button after you get into it and you figure out whether or not you like it. Okay, I'm gonna give you the option to figure out whether or not you like the live. So yeah, come on in the room. There are 89 of you on the live so far. Please come on in and feel free to comment. Subscribers only. Listen, I ain't want to be like that, but I had to be like that. So happy Friday, everybody. I hope that your day is starting off great. And we are going to get into it as we get into the weekend. Also, I want to let you all know that Married at First Sight's review will be out today, no later than tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. I am reviewing this season of Married at First Sight. So come on back. Okay, come on back. All right, let me give the people a few more minutes. Y'all put a one in the chat if you can hear me, because I want to make sure I'm not just talking to myself, because sometimes my mic be doing its own thing. So y'all put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Let's see. Ruby said, my first live. Hey, girl, hey. Listen, I don't normally go live on YouTube, but if something pop off here lately, I just think I should go ahead and hit my button and get in on the discussion. Okay, because I got some things to say. I got some stuff to say too, child. Okay, thank y'all for putting the one in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are about to get into it. Let's see, it's 3:02. I'm gonna give the people about another minute. There are 191 of you on this live. Listen, I know y'all know what went down on Sunday night, baby, when my mouth was wide open. Now I'm gonna say this. I'm actually saddened over the demise of their relationship. And it's I know it's public fodder and it's entertaining and all of this, but I think Shamea was 100% grieving the loss of her friendship. And for people like Angela and Drew, it's like, oh, they're not friends anymore. Yeah, you're no longer her lap dog. That's all cute for y'all, but they were real friends before y'all actually hit the scene. So to see their relationship fall apart, it's sad. It's not anything exciting and everybody's got a gotcha moment. And I knew it. I knew so and so was going to do that. Listen, yes, we knew that so and so was going to do that. But at the same time, y'all, they were friends or they were strong associates, honey. Because, sometimes you can be in a one sided friendship. I'm just saying. Sometimes you think you're somebody's friend and you're really not. You're someone that they tolerate. And somebody put a comment in the comment section of the video for my review for Sunday night's episode. And they said something that really stuck with me. It's like Porsha is and I think I said this on Patreon, but I said it a different way. What I said was, I feel like Porsha is the big older sister and Shamea is that younger sister where your mom is like, you got to take your sister or you can't go. And she's like, ugh. She gets on my nerves, but I love her because she's my sister. So, girl, you can come with me, but don't talk to me and my cool friends. That's what I feel like the dynamic is between Porsha and Shamea. Now, the person in the comment section, shout out to you, said that Porsha is like the popular girl and Shamea is like the corny, cringy, goofy girl. And they just so happen to be friends, but not really. And I agree with that too. So, it's really a sad situation all around. And I also want to get into, before we get into the tea, what people are saying about this being Porsha's space and she should be allowed to say Shamea. Porsha does not own Truly Original. She does not own Bravo. She does not own the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let me tell you something. I'm happy that she rose out of the ashes like a phoenix, but it was a little touch and go there for a minute. Okay, when she was standing on that stage, she was once a Shamea, standing on there singing that, I know he watches me. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. You used to be a Shamea. They didn't want you either. They did not want you. And now you treating that girl like that. They didn't want you. Because remember when they went to Savannah and they were on that damn Sprinter van And she was crying because she was talking about how they understood Monique with a Y, but they didn't understand her plight and why she was so submissive in her marriage. She cried and she told them, she said, I thought I was coming on here and y'all were going to be like big sisters and y'all were going to be really friendly. And I thought I was going to learn some things from you, Candy, from you, Nene, even you, Kenya. How quickly we forget. Or how when Marlo clowned you about your damn too small mat outside your door and you went running from Spain from Marlo. Child, if Sheree can hang with Marlo, I know you can. So to me, it just seems like people forget where they came from, and everybody's like, well, I would not want my friend in my space. It's okay to say I don't want my friend to work with me. Listen, if we work at a 9 to 5 and you come on here and I know you act a fool and you quit every damn job and I put in a good word for you, that's totally different than me being in a position to put you on. Like for real, put you on and put you in a space where now you're getting the brand deals and the calls and the this and the that. Because contrary to popular belief, this has always been the space that Shamea wanted to be in. You know, she was already doing the cameos and the videos and, you know, and things like that. So for me, I just feel like that's not truly a friend. So, you know, people trying to confuse it with boundaries. Well, that's a boundary. Well, baby, I must be an habitual boundary crosser. Because if you my friend, then we are definitely going to go to the top together. There's room for everybody. That's like me saying, I don't want my friend to start no YouTube channel. What if her review is better than mine? Why y'all coming over here? Oh, girl, I don't think you really need to do YouTube. I don't really like that for you. That's a hater. Sorry. That's a hater. Period. SAS experience. Thank you for the super chat. Where's the report card? Listen, I put it out, but the grades are wrong, honey. Sometimes you got to take your grade book back and tell the principal your grades will be in later. Okay? So I'm fixing it up and then I'll put it back out. Because, baby, no. Them grades I gave them heifers. No. We need a bunch of parent-teacher conferences. So absolutely not. TP Lewis said, you see how people feel about you when there's a minor disagreement. They completely discard of you. Shaking my head. I feel for Shamea. Exactly. They throw you right on to the wayside. A fool. Hey, Shay Monet. She says, hey, Misha, I'm so glad I caught this live. Me too. Evan and Marie said at some point, Shamea needs to be held accountable, at least by herself, for not having stronger boundaries and more self-respect. I completely agree. You will not get a rebuttal from me. I completely agree with that. At the end of the day, why would you want to befriend someone who you feel so strongly about at this point that you decided to out her mother? Like it don't go no lower than that. And you still want to be her friend. So this is where I employ Shamea to take a strong look in the mirror. Because, baby, why are you trying to attach yourself to people that you claim are attached to people that did something to your mama? Like, what's going on? And we all know Shamea and her mama and her family, they're close knit. So you holding this in and carrying this around, but yet you still want to be her friend? Girl, I'm gonna need you to get some self-esteem about yourself, honey, because it's giving foolish. It is really giving foolish. Shirley 285 said, this is a show that promotes conflict and mess. It's not that I don't love my friends or want the best for her, but I don't want my chatty patty friend on a show like this. But why? She's your friend. Why? And yes, they promote mess, but if your friendship is strong enough, you and her it's the two of y'all against the mess. I have never been in a friendship where I cannot be in the same setting with my friend because everybody else is being messy. Because one thing I ain't gonna do is let you bait me into the mess. You can say whatever you want to say about anybody else, but you better not say about my friend. Because I'm gonna say something to you, and I'm gonna tell her exactly what you said about her and what I said to you when you said it about her. I think that Housewives is a space where, yes, there is a lot of mess and conflict, but Porsha is not dumb. She knows how to navigate this space. Hell, if you can hang on to a friendship with Frack after she had you in a megawatt lie where y'all were accusing people of grape and rugs, then you can be friends with Shamea and navigate this space together. Candy didn't have no problem navigating the space with Shamea. I don't understand that. Kenya didn't have a problem navigating the space when she brought that lady on. What was that lady's name? Y'all know the one I'm talking about. She was only on there for like a minute. She did maybe 3 scenes. I can't remember her name, but they were bringing their friends and putting them in a position. And everybody wants to talk about Shamea's money. Baby, that's that man money. Because let me tell you something. At the end of the day, when a man get ready to go, he gonna go. Guess what? He gonna take his money with him. Now, you can go to the courts and you can fight for your half and your prenup and your this and your that, but you always want to have your own. Why can't she have her own? I'm not understanding. I'm just not understanding. Tam Monet said, why are we ignoring that Shamea keeps showing people Porsha's text? She did it with Sheree, Britt, now Kelly. How is that okay? All right, Tam Monet, let's get into it. How are we ignoring the fact that we're going to take it all the way back to season 9? Whatever Shamea did, that happened after the fact. Now, are they both wrong? Absolutely. Nobody's making an excuse for either one. In the review, I said that they are exactly the same. They take zero accountability and they do little sneaky, snaky stuff. You mean to tell me you're going to sit with a person that does not like me and allow them to say that I do them both? And not only did she sit there and allow Phaedra to say that she does them both, she co-signed it. Now, we recently rewatched this on Patreon and she co-signed it for real, for real. Oh, she doing both. Oh, yeah, they real close. And then Sheree looks at Porsha and says, you think they do? You think she? Oh, girl, I'm just saying, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Porsha's hands are not clean. They're not. So that happened. And then that was season 9. And who's to say Britt is telling the truth? Are we really going to take the word of somebody who was making up a whole fight in their head with Kenya? Kenya said something about my ring. Kenya didn't say anything about your ring, silly. What she said was, where's your band? When people get married, they have 2 rings on their finger. You so silly, and you done sat home and researched everything that you're coming in with this preconceived notion that Kenya is going to be a villain to you, and you didn't even get a chance to know her. So you had a fight with yourself all season long until Kenya was gone. I don't believe nothing Britt says. I'm sorry. I don't believe nothing she say. Nothing. Now, as far as her showing messages to Sheree, I don't know nothing about that. I don't remember where Sheree come in at because I don't remember Shamea interacting with Sheree. Now, Kelly didn't like either one of them because she was Team Britt. Y'all got to remember season 16, Kelly came in with Britt and she just assumed that Shamea was going to be 100% Team Porsha. So, of course, she's like, okay, well, I mean, I got something for y'all. Everybody had something for her season 16 because they knew she was attached to Porsha. And she is the face of Atlanta at this moment. So, no, we're not going to ignore what Shamea did, but we're not going to act like Porsha is completely innocent. And because Shamea allegedly showed a text message, we just got to be like, Shamea, you stupid idiot. No, I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm just not going to do it. Miss Lola Taylor said, at Miss 24E, Porsha is definitely jealous of Shamea, but Shamea is so blinded by her loyalty to Porsha, she can't even see it. It's heartbreaking, low key. I've been there. Now, I don't know if I 100% catch the jealousy. I just think that she just deep down she gets annoyed by Shamea. It's like I can be friends with you in a separate. Now, this is the thing, okay? Have you ever had a group of friends, but you never let the two meet? Like they don't mix. You got your friends over here. You do this with this set of friends. Then you do this with this set of friends, but never the two shall meet. I think Porsha never wanted the two to meet. Yeah, Shamea can come on and, she can twirl around for a little minute, talk to the girls and go. I do not want you mixing in with this friend group because we're totally different. I'm totally different over here than I am with you. Because even Shamea said last season, why can't we be like we are off camera, on camera? Well, Shamea, you can't because this is 2 different situations. That's why she's like that. Because what she does on Housewives is not what she does in her real life because this is a scripted reality TV show. As much as they want us to believe everything is real. Okay, and they ain't playing in my face, child. The Creole tenor said work friends, club friends, school friends. Yes. That's like if I'm having something, sometimes I don't invite my family if there's going to be certain members of my family, if there's going to be certain friends there, and then I don't mix 2 sets of friends. It's weird. I don't really know how to articulate it, but I think that's something that was happening. Nikki said, no, she's jealous. Nikki said, damn that. She knows on TV, Shamea might outshine her and show that she has more than Porsha, and Porsha can't have that. Now, listen, Nikki, I love that you said, girl, gone. But at the same time, Nikki, go back and think about season 16. If Shamea was really to outshine Porsha, she would have been done it. Shamea had about 5 seconds of spotlight, and that's when she was getting that Cullinan. It was a flop after that. There is something about Porsha, love or hate her. She's charismatic. She walks into a room and lights it up with, as K. Michelle would say, bimbo-like laughter. And she's a free spirit. She's kind of carefree and dingy a little bit. She's like the pretty girl with no brain, and you just love her because, you know, she gonna go with the flow and do whatever. Shamea tries a little harder to be what Porsha is naturally. And so I don't think that she was afraid that Shamea might outshine her. What I do think, though, is that Porsha was afraid that she was going to get her footing, and then their relationship would probably be different even off camera. But I mean, it could be a little hint of jealousy, honey. I ain't going to take it from you. I ain't going to take it from you. Unique Journey said, Misha has the memory of an elephant. Quick recall on point. Girl, let me tell you something. You want to go toe to toe. You know, I wish this was a game show called All Atlanta all the time. When I tell you I can recall every single thing from every single episode, please take me back. Because, baby, I'm going to win that money, honey. I'm going to take that trophy home. I love me some Housewives of Atlanta. Shirley says, Shamea wants fame. Regardless of everything she has, she's not charming. Yep, funny or likable, and she envies that. I think Shamea is likable. I don't mind a corny girl. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's full of life. It's okay to be full of life. She's just different than Porsha. Porsha is full of life, but she's also like, you know, sassy. She's like the girl you want to hang out with. Like, okay, we're going to the party. Let's call Porsha. But when you want to just sit and have somebody listen to all your mess and then go get something to eat with, that's when you call Shamea. They both have good qualities and they both have bad qualities. So, you know, it's just a sad situation all around, and it's foolishness. But they starting to go too damn low now. Okay, now y'all losing y'all mind. It's very reminiscent of season 9. We ain't really have to go through all this. This is crazy. D Savoy 25 said they both have sparks, which is why they were friends. I agree. Brown Sugar said, no, Porsha is dangerously jealous because Shamea is given the storyline Porsha was to bring with Simon, and Porsha threw it in Shamea's face, and that is not Shamea's responsibility. Now, you know what? When I did go back and watch season 16, I remember Porsha showing up to that damn party late and then immediately got in the mix like she had been there the whole time. I like, oh, Gerald, you did that, big dog, and this and that. And then Shamea was feeling away because, girl, this is my opening scene. This is my first time holding the peach, and you're late. Okay, like, what is going on? Why would you do that? Now, at first, watching it, Porsha explained, oh, I was in this traffic and whatever, and I wasn't. She always got an excuse. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I think about Houston traffic, so maybe she was in traffic. But when I really think back, girl, you did that on purpose. You did that on purpose. And what I didn't realize is Shamea got her back this season. So y'all know that Porsha had the very first opening scene of season 17. Shamea decided to stumble on in there late with Pinky Cole. Part of it was due to the fact that she didn't really want to be around Porsha and she didn't know how it was going to go. And the other half was, Heifer, you came to my stuff late, so I'm going to come to your stuff late. Porsha knew exactly what she was doing. She loves to play in people's face. Like, child, please. Brittany, not Brittany, said Porsha is an agent of chaos. Shamea's love was too easily attainable. Porsha likes toxic, hard to get love, like with Nene or Dennis, for example. Girl, you did that. When I say that's the truth, that is the truth. And let's not forget, and when season 10 came up and they went to, where did they go? San Francisco? They went somewhere. And remember, it was right off the heels of that whole, who said that? And Porsha, she was so scared to go on this trip because she didn't know how Kandi was going to react. And Kandi like pushed her. I mean, not pushed her. Kandi talked to her over on the side because she just was like, that's when they was throwing that fake wedding for Kenya and Mark. And Porsha was like, I just want to say that I'm sorry and this and that. Like she could just wish it away. It was very hard for her to get back on the other side with Kandi. I don't even know how Kandi did it, child, but maybe that's just me. But she was trying real hard to get on the other side. She also was vying for the attention and admiration of Nene as well. So that's why I said, it's so funny how people forget where they come from. Girl, you were once Shamea. Now you trying to clown her? Girl, bye. Get out of here with that. Marquez said, I think Porsha just doesn't like Shamea. Thank you, Marquez. I said that on Patreon. She just doesn't like her. Period. She doesn't like her. On season 9, she admits she reprimanded Shamea off camera for bad-mouthing Phaedra on camera, yet didn't do the same with Phaedra bad-mouthing Shamea on camera. Oh, baby, I ain't gonna never forget when they were standing around and Shamea said that Phaedra was liking her husband and said, why didn't you get serious with me, but you got serious with her? Then they went to go sit at that park bench, and that's when Porsha was like, she had said something about you liking her husband. And then that's when Phaedra said, well, Shamea sleep with everybody else's husband. Ain't nobody said nothing about that. Now, why would you allow this woman to talk about your friend? You know why? Because in the back of her mind, she is thinking about the rift between their parents. That's why I don't even know how the two of you could be friends. And Shamea, I do not know why you would want to continue having y'all be friends when the parents are not getting along. You wanted to continue that bullshit. Okay, so your parents weren't friends, but you and Porsha were. So you and Porsha ain't friends, but you want her daughter and your daughter to still remain friends. It doesn't work. Because then they're going to grow up and years later, they're going to be in the same position as y'all. That's nuts. Okay, so let's get into this child. So the whole situation went down on Sunday night. And I'm just going to take you through what some of the ladies said after the episode aired. So Drew says, I don't care how well you play victim, karma gonna dog walk you. Now, I blurred out the names of the people on the Twitter because they are not a part of this, and I do not want to, put their business all out in the street. So then the person said, unpopular opinion, Shamea isn't the villain. Everyone is just kissing up to Porsha this season. Facts. Now, y'all can act like it ain't happening, but it's facts. Because why are y'all even taking to your Twitter and your threads to say anything? You can hush. You really can hush. Okay, but let's go through it. Drew, this is mighty, mighty funny coming from you. Baby, this is rich because you played the victim for seasons. And Drew, I really like you. But now that you're on Team Porsha, you smelling yourself. Let's not forget how she talked to you last season. She wouldn't even give you the time of day. She called you dumb. She said that you were sleeping with Dennis. She let her friends come and call you a pro. They said that you were offering the man fellatio for beats. She then concocted a whole lie saying that you wanted to F Dennis, knowing it wasn't true. Then on top of that, she got you in a room on the very first episode of the season and said you were a low down, dirty individual. I don't care if you married McKillen. Drew, really? Victim? Okay, did we forget when season 16 rolled around and Kenya and Cynthia came to the studio where you were dropping some beats and it was you, Angela, Kenya, and Cynthia, and y'all all sat around and you tried to say something and Kenya said, Drew, you're not a victim. She said, you always want to play victim. You need to understand that you brought some of these things on yourself. So now that you're on the other side of this, now all of a sudden you want to talk about karma dog walking somebody? Listen, Drew, I wouldn't say these types of things because we all know that you were going through the divorce of the century. Some could say your karma was him being in your basement, putting your divorce documents online, putting you out that house by midnight, and you having to pay him child support. Some people could say that that's karma. Y'all be so quick to gloat. Girl, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, baby, if you don't get somewhere and sit down, girl, bye. Let me see. Let me get this super chat. Square Biz, thank you for the super chat. According to Make It Make Sense, Porsha's mom tried to steal Shamea's father, and the whole cast knew about this from last year. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, so yeah, Drew, you need to hush. All right, so here go K. Michelle. So somebody says to K. Michelle is a true supportive friend. I love K. Michelle, and she has really grown on me. Can't wait to see what she brings at this reunion. Hashtag RHOA. So then Kay says, thank you. It's funny how people forget that I'm the one fighting for a certain person every episode. Oh, well, that was stupid of me. Kay, pipe down. Pipe down. Because, baby, you were sitting silent in every scene. You were a spectator. You damn sure should have been sitting on the other side. You might as well have been doing a review because you gave nothing. Now, you saying what you said on Sunday night's episode, okay, I appreciate you telling them that you don't like to see people dogpiling. But were you not having a separate side conversation with Pinky doing the exact same thing? So what are you talking about? Like, what are you saying? Girl, shut up. Talking about silly of me. No, what's silly of you is you realizing that Porsha, the Jedi mind tricked you into thinking that you are on the wrong team. There should not be a team. You should be able to stand by yourself. One thing I respect about Pinky a little bit is that Pinky gonna stand on her own too. Kelly gonna stand on her own too, but she needs somewhere to stay. So Kelly gonna stand on her own too, but she also needs somewhere to stay. But the thing is, Pinky gonna stand on her own 2 feet. You coming in, and now that you have seen how the tides are turning and that people, they like Porsha more than they like Shamea, and all of a sudden it was silly of you to take up for Shamea. What did Shamea do to you, K. Michelle? State it plain. Oh, because she said that her other friends might have had an issue with you being friends. Okay, well, you know what? In Scotland, she apologized to you and she said, I'm not going to do that no more. It was not a but or if. It was, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. I'm sorry I did that. I won't do that anymore. Plain. Now, y'all got a problem when the girl apologized. You got a problem when she don't apologize. Oh, she don't take no accountability. You know who don't take no accountability? Porsha. I have never seen her genuinely apologize to anyone. The scaredest she's ever been was season 10, and that was because she was afraid she was going to lose her damn job, just like Phaedra did. You best believe she didn't just apologize to Candy off the strength of being a good person. Let's be very for real. So now here you are talking about some, I mean, my bad. No, you just want to be on the other side. Girl, gone with that. Square Biz, thank you for the super chat. Porsha only keeps Shamea as a friend when it's convenient. Whenever Porsha connects with the women she views as more influential to her, she pushes Shamea to the sidelines without a second thought. Bloop. Facts. She's disposable. That ain't no friend. It ain't never sat right with me since season 9. Some things you just can't come back from with me. And not to mention the fact that Shamea was engaged at the time, about to get ready to get married. And you up here sitting with Phaedra. What makes you like Phaedra so much? You know what? Y'all a lot alike. Let's move on from that. Y'all are a lot alike. K. Michelle, please, girl. Please. Okay. So then this person says, well, you never speak up for her in the moment, though, behind the scenes. And why not when y'all are in a group setting? You also tried to label her as a monster, but you had Shamea's back? For real? Nah, you switched up the moment you could. I have to be honest, Kay. I mean, the facts are right there. We saw it on Sunday night. It's in black and white. It is what it is. So then, I don't know why my thing is like this. Hold on a second, child, because I want y'all to get the whole thing before we get to Angela. Hold on. Let me take it back. Let me see you go back. Honey, let me go back because we need all of it. Okay, we need all of it because I want y'all to see what K. Michelle said in response to her. Okay, so hold on. We're going to get into it. Okay, I need y'all to see this. All right. Child, I'm looking like Angela, okay? Because this is too much. This is too much. And Angela, you were sitting mighty quiet on Sunday night's episode because truth be told, they should have been on you. You deserve some discipline for what you did to Shamea. Okay, you deserved a part 2. You better be glad you skated under the radar. That's why you sat over there taking them shots to the head. You just knew it was going to turn on you. Girl. So anywho, the first thing, because I forgot, I did Drew first, but Drew's not first. Lauren is first. Lauren, y'all know Lauren is Porsha's sister. And she said, if y'all going to use the internet to talk about me and my family, the least you can do is buy some hair. Check out my new Go Naked hair post. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't think so. And baby, nobody's just sitting around talking about you and your family. Okay, well they are. They are doing some think pieces. But Lauren, you're an enabler too. And let's not forget, she said she wasn't gonna go around the mulberry bush about what's going on in your stomach. You remember that? Or do you remember where you had to talk her down while she aggressively ate strawberries and chocolate? I'm not gonna say aggressively, nervously ate strawberries and chocolate because she was so upset that you were pregnant first. You had to reassure her that you wanted her to be happy. This is not one of them boundary things. That's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. Porsha does not ever want anybody else in her space. Nene said last year that Porsha kept her from a job. Nene said Porsha called down to them people and said, I cannot work with Nene because me and Nene don't have a good relationship. And Nene looking like, what? Girl, what are you talking about, little sis? We're perfectly fine. But you know what? You know what? She knew that Nene was going to come and steal the show. She cannot share the spotlight. This ain't got nothing to do with all that deep, thought-provoking, well, the boundaries have been... No. Okay, no. She doesn't like to share, period. Because why would you be upset that your sister getting pregnant first? That's crazy. Then it's a race against time because now you got to go and have yourself a baby so that y'all can be on even playing field. I don't like that. I don't like that. Baby, my sister had a baby and I went right on by my business. Congratulations and happy birthday. This baby getting ready to come up out of here. I don't care nothing about that. Good for you, boo. I cannot wait to spoil my niece or nephew. How you jealous of your own sister? The one that supports you through it all, through all your foolishness, through all your fights, through all your go naked hair, through all your men. She supports you no matter what. But, you know, who am I? Okay, who am I? So, anywho, after that, that's when Drew got to talking. Now, we already went there. So then K. Michelle says, after she said, well, you only talk about it in the confessional, you don't say it out loud. Then K. Michelle said, I don't even speak up for myself in the moment all the time. I'm figuring my life out. This some weird-ish right here. I'm so sorry that the defense wasn't on your timestamp and you didn't have a camera on my everyday life. I'll be sure next time to do it just how you see fit. Okay, we're not going to play them games. Okay, we're not about to play them games. Because, yeah, you did say certain things in the confessional. And you're right, you didn't speak up in the moment for your own self. But you had a lot of smoke for Drew. Y'all are so afraid of Porsha. Just tell her what it is. If it's not right, then say it. Right then and there. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't get in a confessional with your new blonde bob and start talking. Just say it to him. You know why? Because you look at Drew as the weaker vessel. So you ain't going to go against Porsha. You already said you scared of her. And that came out of your mouth. And that ain't allegedly. You say, you see how big Porsha is? She might beat me up. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue on. So now moving on to Angela Oakley, because, you know, she was just so happy to see it all go down. She wasn't fooling me taking all them damn shots. You were excited, allegedly, and you thought it was cool that they were fighting and fussing, going back and forth. Girl, bye. Let's put the banner on. All right. So she says, let's get into it. This person says, at Angela Oakley 34. So was she talking about Porsha behind her back or no? Speak plainly for the people. Angela says, I wouldn't have known anything unless it was said to me directly. Frankly, she's never denied telling us. She made it seem as though we inquired. I guess everyone else inquired too, because it didn't stop with me or Britt or Cynthia or her press tour. Angela, let me get you together real quick. You did inquire. And I'm going to take you back to when you did it. You set up the play. When you came to that studio after Porsha could not realize what Shamea's voice was and she mistook her for Drew, you came and set up the play then. Shamea, you're very gullible and you bite the bait quite often. You got to be quicker than that. Angela, you came to that studio. You sat with Shamea and you said, I just want to apologize on behalf of Porsha because it's got to hurt that she didn't know, you singing and didn't know that was you on the song. What the hell are you apologizing for Porsha for? She don't even know you. And Porsha was the same one the night before at the vault that said out of her mouth, oh, I know something about Charles. Well, tell me what you know about Charles. Nope, I'm going to keep it. I'm not going to say nothing. Now, Porsha, what do you know about Charles? I'm not going to say nothing. So what you sitting here apologizing to her for on behalf of her? You inquired. And then when Shamea opened up a little bit, you and Drew decided to take her for drinks and get into it further. Okay. And then you took it to Porsha like Shamea brought it to you first. No, you started that because I rewatched season 16. You started it. You decided that you were going to sit with Shamea and pull information from her. And then when she started to be vulnerable and let her guard down, then you took it to Porsha like, well, Shamea thinks the relationship is kind of one-sided. It was different as night and day. Now, mind you, when she sat with Porsha, it was off the heels of the Nashville trip and her hearing Porsha say that she would F Charles. Now, when confronted by Angela, Porsha was like, ooh, I didn't know her big goofy self was in the window, looking all out and being all creepy. Porsha was dog walking Angela. When Angela walked up on Porsha to see what was said about Charles, Porsha ran away. She said, girl, get away from me, and walked right on away from Angela. Then she took you to a dinner in Nashville and said, I don't know what type of mother glue you using on your wig. Are you stupid? Porsha was talking to y'all like y'all were the scum underneath her shoe. And right then, you said, I'm going to tear all this up. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I tear you and Shamea up. Okay, and that's exactly what she did. Both of y'all fell for it. You went over there crying. Porsha, you know you done did stuff to Shamea. Girl, what the hell you crying for? I can't believe she's the guy. I'm just ready to go. Girl, bye. Angela, you did it on purpose. You did inquire. You did start mess. I don't want to hear it. And you lie. And I'm going to tell you how I know you lie. On the other episode, you said in the car as y'all were going to dinner, oh, I didn't tell y'all what Shamea said to my daughter. And Phaedra was like, what did she say to your daughter? You ended up telling them about the whole situation where she said, you're nicer than your mom. And Phaedra says, well, what did you say? And she said, well, what did your daughter say? And you said, well, my daughter didn't like that. Fast forward to the tweets on that very same night. You said, oh, and to be clear, I didn't know what was said to my daughter until I watched the episode. Angela, that is a lie. I rewatched that episode on Sunday night right before the new one premiered. You did know because you told it to Porsha and Phaedra. And then when you got to the table, you said to Shamea, did you approach my daughter? You think your daughter gonna say to you, Mama, Shamea said something to me. What did she say? I ain't gonna tell you. You gotta watch it first. No. You just lie, girl, bye. Girl, bye. She's being strategic, okay? So you can say whatever you want to say, honey, but you ain't fooling me. You gotta critically think with these heifers. So then this person says, what's the point of spilling tea if you're not going to name names? So then Angela Oakley said, a cease and desist, maybe? So then they said, now I like you, but I believed about what? You have no proof and no facts about Shamea. Just drop it. So then Angela says, I have an attorney's bill responding to a cease and desist. Do with that what you want. Girl, what? I am going to do with that what I want. And what I want to say is that obviously you must be lying on her. So she wants you to stop talking about her. That's what I got from it. I don't know. What did y'all get from it? Like, what does that have to do with anything? And you don't have any proof because in the confessional, when the producer said, Angela, do you believe that? You said, I don't want to say this girl's marriage. Girl, you the ones brought it up. Then you said, I'm just going to say I believe what the person told me. You don't have any proof. This is hearsay. I can say anything about anybody. That does not make it true. So, girl, anyway. So then this person said, Angela is giving jealous. Then Angela said, of what? You've seen everything I lost. I didn't lose everything I have. I live a full life and there isn't much anyone can do that I can't. Our social circle includes billionaires. If I were jealous, which I am not, I'd start there. Well, hell, one of them should have bought one of them houses. Allegedly. Have one of them buy them houses. Baby, now mind you, this is everybody piping up after Sunday night's episode, honey. This is just on the heels of the foolishness being dropped. Okay. And then we get to the big dog. Porsha Peach Juice Williams. Porsha says, wait, I'm just catching up here in the Bahamas. Porsha, you were a part of the scene, baby. You don't have to catch up. Baby, you were there. All these heifers crazy. Porsha, you were there, sweetie. Okay, you don't have to catch up because you were present. She says, yo, I can't believe there are actually people talking about my mother and mentioning my daughter in a negative way. Was this really worth it? Shamea took this way too far. You're not innocent. While you've got people discussing my mama because of a lie that you told on this show. If we're going to discuss it, keep it between us. Now, I agree. If y'all gonna fuss, keep it between the two of you. I completely agree with that. Now, let's discuss you. Sleeping with your manager. She made sure to add a little razzle dazzle in there so somebody could be talking to their husband later on that night. Who's married to one of your high school friends, as well as a pastor in Decatur. Listen, The pastors are passing more than collection plates. Okay, they just giving it out. I do not know what is going on with the parishioners, but something is happening because Porsha can always find one that's sleeping with a housewife. Indicator who's 100% on your roster, along with many more. Mm, 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 mm. This a damn mess. Listen, I don't like people that do stuff like this on Mad Day. I understand what was done in the scene was done in the scene. Y'all have already filmed the reunion. So you sitting here acting like you didn't know what was said and how it was going. You know exactly how to play the audience. And for people who are not paying attention, they'll think, oh, Porsha was blindsided. She was in Bahamas and she didn't even know that this lady was up here talking about her mama. She was in the scene. I have seen so many people say, see, Porsha didn't even know all this was going on. How the hell she didn't know what was going on and she was there? Like, I'm going to need y'all to start thinking. She knows how to play to the audience. Okay, she knows how to do that. Shamea, you took it too far. Girl, add her or keep it on the playground, okay? Because I don't believe any of this. I don't care if you say it was the high school coach. I don't believe this. Because it's mighty funny that every time it's time to come back at somebody, they sleeping with a pastor, they sleeping with somebody. Y'all the most you sleeping with people I've ever seen in my life. And one thing that I've noticed about the Real Housewives of Atlanta is they always spread a lie about someone's hot pocket. If you think back to all the rumors that have ever been spread on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they all circle back to sex. Every last one of them. Kenya gave Apollo fellatio. Candace sucked D in the locker room. Porsha was sleeping with all the Nigerians. Claudia went out to Puerto Rico and said that Porsha got a Rolls Royce or a Bentley from an African, a married one. Then they started talking about how Porsha slept with Bolo, and then Tanya got the hell out of Dodge. Then Kenya was listening at the door. Then Marlo, her and Sheree outside of Sonya's Jamaican dinner cooking class said that Candy was a pro from way back and don't nobody want it and it's rotten and y'all always doing that. Y'all the only franchise to do that. Everybody else is arguing over other things and y'all are arguing over this. It's so low vibrational. Like y'all ain't got nothing else to talk about? Y'all ain't got nothing else to do? So you put this up here for what? To destroy her marriage? And that's where the jealousy ties in because you want to tear up her whole life. You already got everybody on the show, baby. There was no need for this. And stop acting surprised like you weren't a part of the scene. This didn't do anything for me. I know people were like, ooh, that's a gotcha moment. She know where the bodies are buried. Yeah, and Shamea could also empty the clip. But let me guess. If Shamea turns around and empties the clip, she gonna be wrong. Well, Shamea shouldn't say nothing because she started it at that dinner. Listen, should she have regulated her emotions a little bit better? Yeah, but it's all fair in love and housewives. Now, I don't like the fact that people are creating think pieces and things like that about Porsha's mother. Now, I think that's just a little bit low. We don't know this lady. She's not a part of Housewives. It was brought up, but I don't think that everybody should be trying to navigate Miss Diane's Hello Kitty. I just don't think so. Like that's too. I'm gonna talk about the housewives, not the lady that's attached to the housewife. So that's just a little bit too much for me. It's not working. Chillshire said, my lie would have been stomped her toe and sued the stone. That's how she got her money. Oh, broke pro. I know that's right. Y'all could be talking about all kinds of stuff. Slim Jen said, I thought in her confessional, Porsha said, this the last word she'll have on Shamea. Why are you talking now? Because she want to act like she just, I'm so upset. I can't believe this. This is too far. You're not a victim. I'm sorry. You're not. Erica Yvette said, you're right about that. Only the Black housewives stoop to regarding one another sexually. That's all they do. That's all they talk about. There has never been a rumor about anything else. The only little mini scandal in between that was the Stallion Booty DVD versus the Donkey Booty DVD. Other than that, it is about who is sleeping with whom. That's it. Like, y'all don't have nothing else. That's crazy. Yvette Nipa said, I stopped watching mid-season. It's no longer fun to watch or a nice kiki. It's just nasty now. And I don't like seeing Black women get so nasty towards each other. That's just me. I understand it. Fruits and Things said, we are very selective with what we want to highlight when Shamea and Porsha were running ATL streets together. I'm not very selective. I don't know what they were doing in the ATL streets. All I can give you is what they did on this show. So whatever they did on this show, I'm gonna bring it up. I don't know either one. So if they were running the streets together, congratulations and happy birthday. Of course they were doing dirt. Shamea introduces anybody that she knows to one of her friends, especially if they got the coin, because they make them in your size when you got the coin. But we're not going to sit here and act like this lady doesn't just sit up and lie on people. Porsha has a history of lying. So when you have a history of lying, people are not quick to believe you. That's why we have the story of the boy who cried wolf. You want to play, then let's play. See, people ain't going to believe what you say because you always do this. And then you never have any facts. You're always confused. And then it turns out to be a lie. But I can't be selective on something I have no idea about. I don't know them personally. So I don't know what they were doing in the streets, honey. Miss Lola said, Porsha ain't never give so many words to pour into Shamea, but she got a book report of words when it comes to dissing her. Porsha, the people ain't stupid. We see your mask. This person said, I really don't believe Porsha with what she's saying about Shamea. I think Porsha is just lashing out and saying whatever. And we know Porsha is hard pressed to have a real receipt. Yeah, true that. Taylor May said, you get a pass then. You get a pass then. Girl, everybody gets a pastor. This is a mess. Hold on, let me go up and get the super chats. And thank y'all for engaging respectfully with me. You know, we can agree to disagree. Everybody has their people. Some people like Porsha, some people like Shamea. And then there are people like me. I see both sides. I see where Shamea went wrong and I see where Porsha went wrong. And like I said, it's sad to see them fall apart like that because they can't never come back together. You know how you hold out hope like, okay, they had this little thing and they was talking and whatever, but they might get back together because they were fun together. They can't never get back together and won't. Kimberly, thank you for the super chat. Nah, why did Angela think this episode was going to vindicate her? I don't know why she thought that, baby. She's so happy to see some mess going on. And anybody who thinks that she's not, I got some magic beans to sell you. She was super excited. Talking about, I don't want to see them fight. Girl, please. You've been putting together the fight since they met you. I don't want to hear it, honey. I do not want to hear it. Hold on, I'm trying to go up. Romeo said, yes, I'm done with Angela. She just needs to stay out of it. Like, girl, hold on, let me see. Like, girl, find something else to do. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to go up to make sure I saw these super chats. I can't get to it, but I see your super chat. All things Rena. Thank you for the super chat. She says, Misha, if it's all fair in War and Housewives, then why is Porsha not wrong for going after Shamea's marriage? There's bias and hypocrisy on both sides. They're all low and dirty. I mean, why you didn't say it in a moment? I feel like you went and made that up. That's the difference to me. I just feel like it's made up. Now, on Sunday night's episode, when they were spitting out the stuff about the mamas, I think that they are carbon copies of their mothers. I think the mother and Shamea's mama and Porsha's mama, they had fun together. Porsha's mama probably was fun just like Porsha. Shamea's mama probably was just like Shamea. And they had fun together. Do I know which one I'm telling the truth? No. But clearly there's something going on. Now, what I did find interesting is when Porsha said, and I knew this was coming, and I took it back to my mother. How did you know that? I wanted to know how she knew that, because the way that K. Michelle reacted when Shamea said that was like she had heard it before, but she couldn't believe Shamea was saying it out loud. So I'm like, Shamea, are you talking to K. Michelle about this stuff? And she was like, Shamea, no. Everybody else seemed genuinely shocked. Like they had never heard this information before. And I was just like, what's happening? But when I rewatched, I noticed that K. Michelle seemed like she already knew. And then Porsha said she knew, so she took it back to her mom. And I'm like, first, wait a minute, Porsha. Because 2 seconds before this, you said you had no idea of their relationship and you don't know nothing about what kind of friendship they had. And if your mama did do that, that's on her, but it's not true. And you have no recollection of their relationship. Now you're saying, oh, I knew you were going to say that, so I took it back to my mama. And Shamea said, okay, so what did your mama say? She said your mama slept with your uncle, basically. So I just don't know, child. All of it just needs to, everybody just need to go. The V Life said, another creator said, maybe Shamea said it to Porsha in their text exchange before the season. I mean, that could have been, but the way that she expressed it to Shamea was not like they had talked about it before. That sounded like Somebody told me this, and I knew you were gonna do this. Yeah, and I had already talked to my mama about it beforehand. That's what it seemed like to me. But maybe that's just me. They could be right. They could be right. She knew because Shamea was telling everybody. Yeah, I think she was talking to people. Feel Good said, I felt the same way when K. Michelle said, Shamea, no. People said they knew last season. Yeah, because when she said that, I was like, Kay, did you already know this? Because what is happening? Because, they do say Shamea known to get somewhere and get to talking. So she could have very well told y'all what was going down. October, Janae said, and I hope the other ladies are taking notes on how things can turn with Porsha. If Porsha can switch up on a friendship from childhood, she will definitely switch up on one of them. You know what? The thing is, she doesn't easily dispose of them like she does people closest to her. Y'all got to go back and rewatch Porsha's Family Matters, because you know how they say that you're harder on the ones that you love, or you're harder on the ones that are closest to you. It seems like she holds them to a different standard. This right here is a check and a job, and it seems like she's easy to just get over it. Now, I didn't understand how Kelly could simply get over her sitting there saying that she had slept with this pastor after Kelly came to that lunch thinking that they were going to really be, trying to get back on the right track. And here she is saying, oh, and you slept with a married pastor BET weekend. It's a pattern. I am very good with pattern recognition. And every time Porsha gets upset with someone, they are now sleeping with someone. And then she puts in a little tidbit of information that cannot be proven. We don't know who was at BET weekend. All we have is Kelly's word and Porsha's word. And I do not believe Porsha. I am so sorry. Then if we want to go to the situation with Candy, with Candy and Porsha when they sat down. Oh, so Todd doesn't go to New York. Todd's not Marvin. Oh, I heard you had a sex dungeon and you were going to drag me and Shamea down there. I'm like, what is going on? She always does this. This is not anything new. It's just not new. It's just not new. I'm sorry. Let's see. Slim Jen said Porsha didn't apologize during that reconciling scene with Kelly. She didn't? Wait a minute. I could have sworn she said, I'm sorry too, when Kelly said, let's just make up. I'm sorry. And I thought Porsha said, I'm sorry too. She might not have, because she showed and apologized to Angela. And Angela sat up there and gave her an award and everything else. I was like, child, what is going on here, honey? What is happening? Impossible Jones said, people have been telling Shamea for years about Porsha, but Shamea didn't want to believe it. Shamea unleashed because she finally figured Porsha out for herself. I think she figured her out for herself a long time ago, but she was holding on hope that they could still navigate this housewife space together, because the confidence that she had in season 16 versus how she is in 17 tells me that she needs Porsha as a security blanket. It might have been a friendship of convenience or opportunity for both of them, because Porsha provides the confidence that Shamea lacks in this space, and Shamea provides the stability that Porsha misses or lacks in her real life. So for me, I feel like both of them got a little something the other won't. But in the grand scheme of things, you played in my face, because when Shamea walked out, she was like, she ain't protecting me. She ain't saying that she's not trying to help me. I was like, oh my God, this is a mess. This is a mess. After Kelly shamed Porsha for 2 seasons, really? We care if Kelly forgives her? She's no victim. Nah, she ain't no victim, child. You know, when she got with Britt, honey, she was showing out until her and Britt fell out. And then all of a sudden, she tried to move forward. The thing I can respect about Kelly, though, is she's able to get in a scene and she's able to move forward. That's something that none of the new ladies can do besides Pinky. K. Michelle does not know how to move forward. She's still harboring some hurt and hate in her heart for Drew. And then you have, what's the girl? Then you have Shamea. She wants to move forward, but only with Porsha. She got to fix that first. Angela ain't letting nothing go. Y'all just like them old reads she sit down and write at home. Child, please. She's sitting there writing them reads down, child, and coming with it. When anybody say something, she come out with one of them. SF Bay Area, Brandy says Porsha and Angela should link up and be besties because they seem most compatible. The way they both just make up lies off the top of their head. And I used to like Porsha and Angela, but I can't stand a liar. You know what? All of them have lied. Y'all want me to run down a few of the lies? So Angela lied about never bringing up Charles again. Girl, that's all you got. Okay. Porsha just lies, 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 lies. Honey, we done seen her lies since season 5. Okay, so we don't have to go into that. We all know that Phaedra lies. We know the receipts. So we ain't even got to go through her lies. K. Michelle lies because she's sitting up here saying that Drew tried to make Black a thing in her life and like she doing something with Black. Girl, that lady just said you knew Black because he said he knew you. Girl, bye. Then you have Pinky. She lying about her money. Because, girl, do you got the money or not? Okay, because one minute you got so much money you don't know what to do with it, but all of it is somewhere else, and the LLCs are tied up into the ABCs and the 123s. Do you have money or not? Then you got Cynthia. She don't know which way the damn wind blow. She lied on Shamea when she sat with Porsha and said, well, I want to say this to you because Shamea had some things to say about you. No, she did not. You sat there at that table on that damn lake and you asked Shamea about Porsha. And then when Shamea shares something deeply vulnerable with you, like her and these embryos and it being the last male embryo, you turned around and said, well, do you think you're getting into it with people because of everything you're going through? Not an ounce of sympathy. Cynthia, just say you don't like the girl and move on. Moving on from her. Who else is a liar? They all are. Baby, every last one of them lie. But I understand, honey. They got some strong lies. That's what you're trying to say. I get it. Oh, my goodness, honey. Thank you for the super chat. What's worse to me is how Cynthia can be under Porsha after she had to punt her in the cat for her. Girl, bye. I can't even read your comment. Wait a minute. Y'all are so crazy. Hold on a second. Let me make this comment sound professional. What's worse to me is how Cynthia can be under Porsha after she had to hit her in her coochie crack for her own safety, only to inevitably turn into a lapdog. In the words of Marlo, Cynthia, you remember when Marlo called Cynthia Bob Marley? Baby, that is so funny to me. Y'all are just crazy. Do you hear me? Hey, Miss Yvette, thank you for the super chat. Misha, this live is so good and your commentary is amazing. Thank you, Miss Yvette. Oh my goodness, y'all so funny. Fruits and Tings said Shamea had 2 weddings. She missed the one out of the country and attended the one in ATL. She just got divorced and did a minor surgery. Who just got divorced? Porsha? No, Shamea just, I know Shamea ain't got divorced. Pete's 96 said, no, they don't care. They're sticking to Porsha because they see her as the top housewife. Even Cynthia disappointed me. Yeah. And, people want to debate. They had something to say to me in my comment section because they were like, what you mean? You talking about it's a numbers game? No, it's not. Yes, it is. What are y'all watching? It is a numbers game. You think she went over there and made up with Kelly because she wanted to make up with Kelly? No. And then what further let me know that it was not just a makeup is when she sat in that scene and said, I want you to call me. I want you to ask me for things. That was oddly specific. You know that she's staying in Shamea's townhome. And right now that is her only ally. And your number one job, allegedly, is to isolate and alienate this lady so that she gets off this show. Because you want this space to be as comfortable for you as possible. You've told the line for seasons, and now you're finally here, and you don't have any OGs in your ear. Y'all were even successfully able to make Kenya lose her damn mind. So now that you have absolutely nobody else, you want Shamea off this show. So if y'all don't think that they are stacking the numbers, that is crazy. Like that's crazy. And then the whole situation with them making up. Okay, let's get into this. So Phaedra posted what she said on Sunday night's episode about Kelly not having her priorities straight, which is absolutely true. Kelly, I don't know what you're doing, honey. It makes no sense. So she posted the scene. And she says in her caption, the math ain't mathin', #RHOA. So then Porsha comes in and says, teach the hobbits. I don't like when they call Kelly a hobbit. I know Britt came up with that and, that people think it's cute. We all have insecurities. So, how all of a sudden Bigfoot is a problem. Cynthia with your old flip-flopping self. I just wish she wouldn't call Angela Bigfoot. I just wish she would stop. Girl, you came from the era of Nene Leakes. Bigfoot is upsetting you and your homegirls? Girl, bye. You came from Nene Leakes. You cannot sit up here and make me think that you are offended by her saying that Angela has a big foot. That is like some old kindergarten read. That's some old elementary school mess. That is why I say, girl, just say you don't like her and leave her alone. I would respect it more if you say straight up that you don't like a person. But all that trying to find a problem and trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents, Cynthia, it's not gonna work. Y'all have said worse to each other. Nene called Kim a monkey with a wig on. Sheree shifted Kim's wig so good. Y'all have talked about these women being lower than low. But Bigfoot is where you draw the line. Girl, bye. You got the fake outrage and you want to be on Porsha's team. She like you, girl. You're okay. You're okay. Like, my gosh. So, anywho, I guess it's okay for Porsha to call Kelly a hobbit. That's fine. Okay. Anyway, Porsha says, teach the hobbits with a laughing face emoji. So then Kelly says, hey, buckaroo. Girl, what? Kelly, shut the hell up. Buckaroo? Girl, you already starting off wrong. Child. Anyway, she says, hey, buckaroo. Not everyone wants the Mr. Ed special with a tooth and a horse emoji. My smile is just how my man likes it. Small and bright. Of course, the sponsored queen managed to make my attorney's post about herself. Meanwhile, her body, house, teeth, car are all sponsored by any African with a pulse. Kelly, we're going to have to let it go with the Africans and the Nigerians and the Kenyans and the... Please. Do y'all understand how that is offensive? I don't think they understand that. They talk about Africans like they're an accessory. Am I the only one that's noticing this? And Atlanta is the only franchise that does this as well. You never hear Potomac over there saying, yeah, because you hooked me up with an African girl. You don't ever hear them saying no mess like that. But they always do this on Atlanta. So anywho, she says, XOXO, the hobbit you hate. Porsha, I'm sorry, Phaedra still your attorney? Girl, she wouldn't be my attorney. She knew what she was doing when she posted that. I know she's doing it for free, baby, but absolutely not. I would have to have a talk with her. It wouldn't work for me. It just would not work. Miss Lola said, that's because Porsha made him an accessory. That's true, but it's like the way they speak about him. Like, my gosh. I don't know, honey. It is a lazy read, Kimmy. Kimmy said it's a lazy read at this point. Like, can we get something new? Anything. That would work for me. One who cares says, so glad to catch a live. I'm happy you caught a live too. Look, is she lying though? All right. Let's move on. Baby, let's move on. Y'all try to get me canceled. Listen, girl. Honey, let's move on. Slim Jim said, like Angela's comment, Prince of Zamunda. You know, that was so stupid. Angela was losing, so she started saying anything. Bark on one leg, pro. Earth. Yeah, you're a stupid idiot. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? You lied. You got caught in your lie. And now you're sitting here barking? But when Pinky called Angela Damon, people was like, oh, Pinky can't read for nothing. Angela was reaching on that, which lets me know that the other ones are rehearsed. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, honey, but she definitely be rehearsing them reads. You have the I, but you are missing the T. Baby, I don't care what they say. Look, Leisha said, that's all they deal with, though. Kimoto was across the street. So if that's meeting him, then I must have met him. You ain't lying, though, Leisha. You ain't lying. BD presents said, well, at least Kelly clearly came up with that one on the spot. You can tell Angela came up with a list before the season even started, child. Sure did. That's why she's sitting up there talking about Pinky got a dang on wife in the basement. And then when Pinky said, and I was about to lose my marriage when she was in the confessional, she said, I was about to lose my marriage over that. You know, I don't want to be intimate because stuff is going on with my business. The first thing I thought was, so is that what their wife doing in that basement? Because, baby, Angela done researched the girls. And I want my flowers because I told y'all that. I said, Angela is just like the other new lady. She has sat and researched these ladies. She's writing down lists and checking them twice, giving very much Santa Claus. I told y'all that. Y'all was like, no, you hate Angela. No, I don't. I actually really liked her last season. But I can see a person being strategic and conniving from a mile away. And what she has been doing this season is not anything that she should be doing because her and Shamea ain't even got a real beef for real. And she keeps lying in these tweets. Y'all are going to see. It will all be revealed. Girl, stop talking to me in riddles. I don't want to hear none of that. It will all be revealed. Well, wait till it's revealed and then tweet to us about it. And I'm going to apologize to you, Angela. If you come out on top at any time, including the reunion, I will apologize to you because I am not above that. But right now, you're messy, you're strategic, you're conniving, you're manipulative, and you lie. Okay, you lie. But like I said, they all lie. Sitting up there making up them lies, child. Goodbye and good night. I don't want to hear it. Square Biz, thank you so much for the super chats. You're going to get my baby a new pair of shoes. Shamea is the only cast member willing to stand up to Porsha and challenge her directly. She has shown that she isn't easily intimidated, which could make for a very different dynamic moving forward. Okay, I agree with you, but wait a minute. Let me add Kelly. Kelly has shown that she is not afraid of Porsha. That's one of the things that I can respect. Because as a new person, even though this is her second season, she's still friends with Shamea. And you would think that she really wouldn't want to get in the mess like that, but she's not afraid to get in the mud. Now, this right here, although Shamea just blurted it out and she started all of this, I do think that now she's going to feel more confident moving forward. Now, what I thought was interesting is that when Porsha posted what she did, which we looked at just a few seconds ago, let's go back to it. Okay, let's go back to it. When Porsha posted this, I thought that it was very interesting that Shamea didn't have anything to say. So clearly somebody is letting her know that maybe she should just be quiet for a little while. Don't say anything. I know you may want to say something in retaliation, but she's not saying anything. So I don't know how this is going to go behind the scenes. And it's, really kind of like, it doesn't really make sense because the reunion has already been filmed. So this is just what's happening in real time, but we're not going to get to address it. So I wish they would have shown this episode earlier or waited to do the reunion later because it's not going to be resolved unless they talk about it at the reunion, but they ain't going to be able to talk about this tweet. I don't know. This is just a mess. A mess. Dina the Explorer said, Kelly said, I'm not going to let somebody who doesn't know how many days in a year intimidate her. I know that's right, honey. 265. What the hell live at? Oh, I miss Nene. Lord have mercy. I miss the old Nene though. Amina 2172 said, I don't think Shamea should say anything. Porsha's making herself look bad. I don't think she should either. She's being strategic. Maybe she ain't saying one word. I said, I know that's right, honey. I know that's right. Shamea said, I'm going to let her talk, y'all. Because if I say something, it's going to be a problem. And the thing is, I know these girls going around, watching these videos and listening to the think pieces and reading the comments to see which way the fans are going. And it's really split down the middle, y'all. You have some people that are like, y'all are so stupid. You're Shamea apologist. And then you have some people that are, y'all are so jealous of Porsha. You want to be her. You want to look like her. You want to live like her. You want to be free like her. You want to baby, it is okay to have a difference of opinion without wanting to be the actual person. I don't want anything that Miss Williams has. Not even a stint on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I love that show. I wouldn't want to be in these ladies' shoes for any amount of money. It's too stressful. I like my peace. But it's like we can't have a difference of opinion because then everybody gets to tearing each other apart. And it doesn't even have to be like that. These are everyone's opinions. I see things differently than you may see them. Even today, some of y'all are saying other things and I'm saying something else. It's okay though. I'm not mad about that. And you're not mad about what I got to say. It's just like people don't know how to be adults and watch the show objectively. Y'all always got to resort to some kind of name calling or some kind of foolishness. It's silly. Like, relax. Okay. Because at the end of the day, they playing in all our faces. Jamie Aiko said, I miss Nene and Kenya. And they keep talking about Candy so much. I want her to come back too. Yeah, see, we need a neutral person. And I know y'all think Candy is boring. I get it. I get it. We need Candy. And the reason why is because Candy gonna say something to Porsha and Candy gonna say something to Shamea. Am I lying? Candy gonna get somewhere with Porsha, go down to her house. Well, why you say that about Shamea? Yeah. I fly above all the haters. Candy. Candy, don't start that damn singing. Do not start that damn singing, Candy. We don't need sing, Candy. We do not need it. Okay? We really don't. She gonna get somewhere and she gonna talk to them. Then she gonna go over there and tell Shamea, well, why you say that? Why you say that about her mama? I ain't never heard that about her mama. Candy, please. Or we need Kenya. Because Kenya gonna call out on the spot. Well, Porsha, you have been known to be a hoe. That damn Kenya. Shamea, I never liked you. I didn't even like you in Miami. So maybe you're the problem. Baby, Kenya gonna tell him like it T.I. is. Do you hear me? She is not gonna mince words and she's going to say it exactly how it is. Cynthia can't do it. She's too much under Porsha. She can't do it. Sitting up there making up stuff and don't even make sense, child. Absolutely not. Child, goodbye. Goodbye and good night. Mm-mm. Desiree said, Candy would be the perfect person for this scenario. Mm-hmm. She would. Because you know she gonna go over there and get to talking to both of them, child. So, I mean, I feel like we kind of need her a little bit. Miss Still That Girl said, we need Mama Joyce to get to the bottom. Baby, no. We do not need Mama Joyce putting on no trench coat and no scarf and no sunglasses going down to Randy Kessler's office to dig up dirt on Shamea. Absolutely not. Because you know Mama Joyce, she loves her some Porsha. I thought that was so strange. You know, there are certain things that have happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta that I think are strange. One of them being where Mama Joyce was embracing Porsha and complimenting her and talking about Candy and Todd. Ma'am, this is a woman who dogged out your daughter, who could have caused your daughter to lose brand deals and association with the higher ups because she's talking about rugs and you sitting down with her skinning and grinning. Oh, I would have cut Mama Joyce off that day, but that's just me. Okay, because that don't make no sense to me. Sorry. It just ain't making no sense. Hold on, I see a super chat. Oh, hold on, let me take this off of here. I see a super chat. Well, did I miss it? Hold on. Okay, no, I already got that one. Maybe they down here. Where the super chats go? Okay, C. Jordan, thank you for the super chat. Candy would be a great asset to this group of ladies. Kenya might take it too far, though. Yeah, she is. You know she is. But I think we need somebody else. Some other OG. Hell, we could even get Sheree. Now, Sheree will be over there with Porsha talking just as crazy as Cynthia. We need somebody because I don't feel like people are really doing what they're supposed to be doing. Thank you, Marsha, for the super sticker. Thank you, boo. Okay, ST Ferguson 2565 said, Amisha, if we think about it, Shamea has been each and every one of these ladies' storyline this season. Phaedra, Drew, and K. Michelle had nothing going on at all. Girl, yeah, that's what I said on Sunday night's review. Baby, they ate me up. Ain't nobody worried about Shamea. I have never said, let me put my $50 super chat up here for another minute. I have never said a person's name so much in a season in my life. I've started substituting Shamea for she. So then she said, and then Angela said, and then she said, and then Drew said, I'm tired of saying her name. You know how people be like, get my name out your mouth with pleasure. I do not want to say your name ever again in my life. Like, my gosh, y'all ain't got nothing else to talk about? Dang, that's crazy. So this is a Porsha hate channel. You go real hard when you're remembering your facts against Porsha, but don't remember much when it comes to Shamea. Hey, so this is a subscriber only chat, so you can go ahead and unsubscribe because clearly you don't know anything about my channel and I'm not a Porsha hate channel. Everybody has a right to their opinion. We've been having a very good discussion about both sides of the coin, as well as Shamea and her text messages and that she revealed between her and Porsha. This is not a Porsha hate channel. Okay, I'm going to ask that you just remove yourself from the chat because there's none of that negativity going on. If you have a lot to say in regards to Shamea and Porsha and you can, come behind those with receipts, feel free to get your own channel. I'll be sure to shout you out, honey. Goodbye. Let's move on. Romel said, yes, friend, Candy and Kenya definitely would have been good commentary this season. Yeah, they would have. I think we need like a real OG that knows how to navigate the space for real and that's not afraid to call the ladies out. I think that would be good. Let's see. Bloop. Yeah, honey, go ahead. You subscribe to this channel to say I'm a Porsha hate channel. That's exactly why I set my comments to subscriber only. And it's okay. We're just talking. This is why I don't be coming over here talking on this YouTube. I don't have time for that negativity. I really don't. I'm not Porsha. I'm not Shamea. And hate is a strong word. I'm going to really need y'all to get a thesaurus, a dictionary, hell, even an encyclopedia, and figure out what the meaning of words are. Because you're not going to make me feel bad for my opinion. So like I said, if you have a channel, put it in the chat and let the people go over there and listen to what you have to say. Don't bring that foolishness over here. Hey, Dr. Jen 84 said, those people in their parasocial relationships are eerie. Grown adults, by the way. Girl, like, what is happening? Like, this a Porsha hate channel. Girl gone. Girl gone. I ain't got time for that. I am very respectful to both ladies. Okay? So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm just going to go the way of Porsha because y'all want me to. I'm sure. Anyway, as I went on to say, Missy said, Misha, let's just pretend they're not here. We'll be all day dealing with them rather than the subject. Honey, I'm going to address these people because they think they can bully me. The thing is, y'all don't have to deal with thousands of comments. And y'all know I'm one of the people that respond to my comments. If you comment to me, I'm going to comment back. That's why I say that at the end of my videos. And I think that people have been using me as a punching bag this season. And I don't tolerate that. I understand that we all have a difference of opinion. I said it. I simply said that about 15 minutes ago. The viewers are split. Half of the viewers love Porsha. Half of the viewers love Shamea. It's a split vote. We can talk about it, but I'm not going to let you be disrespectful to me. So I'm going to address you. I'm moving on, baby. We're moving right on to these comments. But at the same time, you're not going to bully me. And it happens to me a lot because you can't see me. But I have the propensity to get you all the way together. Just so we're clear. Baby Hustler, thank you for the super chat. I love you and your channel, Misha. Thank you, boo. I appreciate you. Okay, let me see. Pizza, Cynthia flip-flops. That's all she does. She don't know what. And it's so crazy because Cynthia has what it takes to actually stand on her own too. But for some reason, she gets hypnotized by Porsha. I think she's secretly in love with Porsha, baby. She is going to ride for Porsha no matter what. And I'm just sitting here thinking, Cynthia, now do you remember when you and Porsha had that rift and y'all sat down at that lunch and she was completely just disrespectful of your time because you were there and she took a long time to show up. Y'all shot insults at each other and then you got up and you left. Do you remember how you felt in that moment? It's like the girls can't take themselves back to where they once were. They just, oh, well, you are automatically wrong. Because when she said at that table, well, do you think that she's doing things to bring this on herself? So I looked at the examples that they gave of Shamea doing this to herself. Okay, Shamea made a little mumbling and rumbling about what Drew had going on. The girls do that all the time. Then she did something else. I forgot what it was. I think it was in Dallas. And then they had the audacity. They had the audacity to use the clip of Angela lying on Shamea. How did Shamea bring that on herself? So you mean to tell me a woman going around searching for information on me is my fault? Child, production hates you, Shamea. The people hate you. The cast hates you. I will get off this show. There is no amount of money that would have me on here looking a fool. I would get off this show because it's giving Potomac. Something about the way that they produce Potomac, you will know who everyone doesn't like. It will be painfully obvious. And it's starting to be the same way on Atlanta. And it didn't used to be that way. It's like, all the girls had a little bit of something. The whole Kenya versus Porsha thing that went on for years. I remember there were people who were diehard Kenya fans. She could do no wrong. Baby, that was the twirlers or whatever they call themselves, honey. The twirls, Team Twirl. Then you had Team Porsha, honey, the Porsha Power Rangers. Everybody was against each other during this time because they felt so strongly one way or the other. But a lot of mess was mixed in between. You had mess with Cynthia and Nene and Peter. And then you had stuff with Phaedra and Apollo. You couldn't really tell who was the actual villain because it was just TV and everything was happening. Now they make it a point to focus on one person throughout the entire season and tear them down every single episode. And that's not fun to watch. Nobody deserves to be torn down every single episode. Like, give it a... I think she had one break. No, she didn't. Wait a minute, hold on. Did she have a break? No, she ain't had no breaks. That's crazy. They've been talking about this girl since episode 2. I'm sick of seeing it. Okay? I'm sick of seeing it. Caramel Kissy said, how soon they all forget. Okay, girl. KJ says, Cynthia is too busy fantasizing about Porsha. Since Porsha is not fluid, she just needs to go give Cynthia that kiss she always wanted. Well, she did. Porsha say she slipped her some tongue. Porsha say, yuck. Yuck. And I have to say this as well. Don't the girls look so pretty? This is such a pretty picture of Porsha. And then the picture that I chose. Hold on, let's go back. Baby, the girls just all to the pretty. Y'all just fighting just as crazy as the damn day is long. But y'all so pretty. Just look at them. Just look at them. I would, even when I was choosing the pictures, and it's so funny because I had chosen the pictures and my son came walking by. He said, "Oh, them some good looking pictures. Don't they look good?" And y'all sitting up here fighting, tearing your mamas down, tearing your kids down, child tearing each other down. It's just, it's sick. It's sick. It's really sick. Amina said, "I don't like when they split into groups. It's difficult to watch and it's not entertaining." Girl, and it sure ain't entertaining to review. I can't wait for this season to go off. When I say I cannot wait for it to go. Chaos Alchemist Lab said, "We're looking at two gorgeous birds and the feathers are flying. They done plucked the hell out of each other. Do you hear me? Baby, they done plucked each other to death." Taylor May said, "It's crazy how the girls completely dropped Angela being a whole weirdo 2 weeks ago. Angela gave cornball. Taylor May, you better speak your speech because why I said the same thing. Why y'all acting like Angela didn't do nothing? I don't like that. I do not know why y'all edited this episode this way. And Shamea, I spoke directly to you when I told you, girl, what you sitting over here talking to Porsha for? You need to be addressing Angela. Okay, she lied on you. And you know what I also noticed? That, and we talked about this on Patreon, how Angela's indiscretions just poof, they disappear into a puff of smoke. It's like, how does everything that she does just disappear? She did that whole thing with Phaedra. We never revisited that. Oh, you didn't do it, Phaedra? I believe you. My bad, girl. She came over here, made up a lie on Shamea, several lies, and now she feels vindicated because Porsha put this tweet up. See, I told y'all. She immediately got to tweeting right after Porsha put that up. Angela, so are you saying to us, because this is what I want y'all to think of, because this is what came to my mind. If people are saying that Shamea is the one who told K. Michelle that Phaedra, Porsha, and Drew were plotting, is Porsha the one that told Angela about the Hawks and the Falcons? Because why do you feel so vindicated? You say, what now? Who told you that? And then she was like, well, I believe the person who told me. Who told you that? Because see, people be thinking like Porsha don't be talking behind the scenes. She does. She's just smarter about it because she's been doing this longer. When you go to a job for the first time and you don't really know the ropes, you'll do things totally different than the girl who's been there 10 years. As soon as she train you, she be like, yeah, I do it this way, but this ain't how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, okay, so you could just do it like that, but this ain't how I'm supposed to do it. Like she knows the ropes. And I'm just thinking to myself, Angela, where did you get your information? Because you sure didn't get it from Ashley. You tried to go over there and get some, but she told you she wasn't going to give it to you. So who did you get that from? I'm just saying, I just want to know if y'all thought the same thing, honey. Some don't make sense. It just don't. Phoenix Undercover said, they said Jason Lee told Kay about the plot. Yeah, he even, but see, you know what, Phoenix? They ain't going to admit that. They're going to still make it Shamea's fault. He literally said Phaedra called him and some of the girls called him asking about K. Michelle. They still sat up there and made that Shamea is the one who said it. Then the people got mad because she wanted to address them in the moment. Stop saying I said something that I did not say. And who led the charge? Angela. Anyway, people just seem to forget how things go, honey. Alicia Graham said, unpopular opinion other than searching for info about Shamea cheating. I'm not mad she tried to break up their friendship. It was easy to break. You ain't lying. I'm sorry. If you bring me something about my best friend, we're going to have a conversation about it. And I want to know where she got that from and how it came to be. They fell apart real easy, but they fell apart because Porsha was willing to let her go really easily. And that's the part that I'm saying about how the lady is literally grieving her friendship. It was so easy to throw her away. Y'all could have had a real conversation, because that conversation y'all had when y'all went to that restaurant and you got up and stormed off Porsha and started crying, that was not a resolve. That was you shutting her on down. Like, girl, let's not talk about our real business. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? Because she kept saying, Shamea, why are you doing this? No, you don't have to do this. Shamea, stop. Basically telling her, girl, this is a show. We are not about to do this right now. She never wants to be held accountable. And it was the same way on that Porsha Family Matters too. She didn't want to be held accountable. It just is what it is. They definitely called. I don't know if they were asking about her toes though. Wait a minute, who y'all talking about? Sydney Kim said, Miss Misha, do you think K Michelle should return for another season? Nope. I don't. The thing is, I understand that, it's hard to get acclimated to the housewives because it's totally different from Love and Hip Hop. And I'm not saying she had to show up as K Michelle, with the infamous shaking the table. I'm not, but she just had to show up. K Michelle did not engage. She didn't show up. I just wanted her, I just expected so much more. And she didn't have to get down low, but show up like you are, because I know she has it. You know what I'm saying? I know she really does have it. But now I feel if she comes back for another season, she's going to come back confused. She's going to be on the other side talking. And it's going to be a mess. Now, I don't know what she did to get that first chair at the reunion. We shall see. But in all honesty, I think it should be maybe a one and done. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people feel like everybody should at least have another season to try to figure themselves out. I get it. But she just did not engage, period. How do you go through an entire season and not engage, period? And the part that really stuck out to me is when they were at the table. And thank you for the super sticker, LaRonda B. Is when they were at the table in Scotland and everybody was talking and things were happening. And Kay was just looking at the end of the table, like just looking. I'm like, what is happening? When they went to go do the Bailey Bowl and the Maggie Madness, K Michelle was just standing there looking. Pinky tried to pull it out of her. Well, what's going on with you and Shamea? Are y'all good? No, we're fine. Well, Kay, why aren't you talking? I'm just looking. K Michelle, girl, you are the hottest ticket in town, baby. You're a housewife. Do you know how many women want to be housewives? Girl, get in there. Like, I don't know. I just don't think this is for her. I like K Michelle. I love her music. But I don't know if this platform is for her. I really don't. She's not showing up. I need her to do what she needs to do. They tried. Neither of them took accountability during that dinner. I wouldn't want my friend who's been skinning and grinning in my face until she got what she wanted. Now a decade of grievances. But is it really that though? Chaos, Alchemist, is it really that? Because we've seen them fuss all the way to the car. They have fussed before. I don't think this is just all of a sudden she got a peach and now she want to fuss with Porsha. I think she got a peach and now she is trying to figure out why Porsha acting funny. Listen, have y'all ever been in a situation where you be with your friends and as soon as they get in mixed company, they start acting brand new? That's not a friend. When they went to the vault and they had that sit down dinner, Porsha immediately started acting brand new. Oh, that's not you. That's Drew. Shamea was like, no, you got to listen. Listen, that's me, Porsha. Girl, I don't know your singing voice. Shamea was like, girl, just listen to the thing. Like, she was embarrassed. She did that on purpose. You know damn well Shamea is not going to be holding a phone, letting you listen to Drew, knowing that she know you don't like Drew because she wants to film with Dennis. Like, we got to use our thinkers. Now you think your best friend, the one who been doing whatever up until this episode, telling Drew, are you seeing Dennis getting in your mess? You think she going to pull out a phone and let y'all hear Drew? Like, some things just don't make sense. You acting funny because you're around these girls. Girl, bye. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Hey, Dr. Jen says, yep, I let people go when they act brand new around mixed company. Girl, me too. Because they know how to make a fool out of you. I do not like people who try to neg you when they get around certain people, namely men. I don't tolerate that either. If you get somewhere with me and you start acting different and I know how we interact and the vibe is weird, you're a no for me. They be knowing what they doing, child. They know exactly what they're doing. Lady Row 8 said, birds of a feather flock together. Porsha and Shamea are two peas in a pod. If Porsha is a 504, so is Shamea. It's the 504 boys. What? Are you taking me back to No Limit? No, I'm not saying she got a peach and want to fuss. I'm saying Shamea waited. All of this could have been handled a decade ago. But how was she going to handle it? She wasn't allowed she wasn't in that space like that. And when she did try to handle it, let's remember, she went down to the reunion. She had on that, was it a navy dress or a purple dress? It was one of them. She sat at the end of that couch and she fussed with Phaedra. And she said to Porsha, now this was off the heels of whatever was going on with she doing both. She said to Porsha, you need to watch her and watch your credit cards and watch your driver's license. Watch everything around the scammer of it all. And when Porsha finally found out that Phaedra had lied and she ran off stage, Shamea ran back behind Porsha to try to, console her or whatever. And Porsha's like, Shamea, right now, not right now. I just need to, like, I need you to go, just go away, Shamea. Shamea, not right now. She has tried several times to talk to the girl. When they were down to that thing, I think it was her bridal shower. I don't know what it was. And they were fussing about, now this is what I will say. Shamea, you was wrong in that instance. Now, when I thought about it, when I watched it the first time, I felt like Porsha was wrong. But when I watched it the second time, Shamea, you were wrong. Now, let me tell you how you were wrong. When they got in front of Candy and Karma down to that table, you already knew that Porsha was into it with Candy because, it was an issue between the two. You sat at that table, and I don't know if you were auditioning for a peach or what, but you sat at that table and you were like, I can't believe you even were in the wedding. Like, you wore the clothes and everything. Like, I can't even believe you did that. Like, you actually came to my wedding. And Porsha looking like, girl, what are you talking about? Why wouldn't I come together? Like, what are you saying? She was like, yeah, you came to it. So then Shamea proceeds to go on. And basically, she was fronting in front of Candy and Karma and showing out. And Porsha was like, why are you doing this in front of them? Like, what are you talking about? Then all of a sudden, Shamea turns it around to the issue that Porsha will not be coming to her wedding because she can't sit in the seat for long periods of time. But the gist of it is that Shamea started that. She wanted to show out, and you're going to wait until you get in front of your friend, knowing that the candy-coated clique was heavy on Porsha at this time. You waited until you got in front of them to talk to her about your wedding. You could have talked to her about that a long time ago. You were in the wrong in that scene. But back then, because I heard Porsha wasn't going to the wedding, I automatically assumed Porsha was the only one at fault, but she was not. Shamea, you started that whole thing at that table. Then when Porsha wanted to disengage because now you're trying to play in my face in front of these girls, and Carmen and Candy were over there making fun of her. You know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, let me get this doctor's note. And, they were making like little jokes, laughing. Porsha was like, okay, I'm going to leave. Then they argued all the way to the car. Shamea, you used to do little stuff. Okay, you were poking just a little bit. But again, this was after the whole she doing both. So, baby, I just don't know, honey. This is just, baby, it's just a mess. A mess. These are their personal issues. She needed to wait for the camera to talk to her friend about her issues. She needed to wait. No, she told her, Shamea said, and I quote, y'all are trying to tell my best friend stuff. We already talked about this stuff. Y'all talking about stuff y'all seen on the show. We already had talked about this. Everything that Shamea brought to this camera, she had already talked to Porsha about. The thing is, Angela and Drew were inquiring about mess that happened from what they seen on different scenes and different episodes and different seasons. So Shamea spoke on it again, but she was not just bringing it there for the first time. She actually did have a conversation with Porsha. But in True Housewives fashion, you got to sit down and you have to have a one-on-one. You know how they do. Oh, well, come on, let's do the one-on-one so we can pretend to have a resolve, and then y'all can argue down to the reunion. And that's exactly what they did. Hey, Sheila. I remember Porsha told Shamea that they would have to pay her more money to be a friend that they were in real time. Yeah. She said, I got to pay me more money than that because she knows that this is a check and this is how she acts over here and this is how she acts in real life. We don't know who the hell these heifers are. Okay. We have no idea. Meadows in the Ghettos. Oh, I like that name. Yes, Angela even said she felt like Shamea felt the relationship was lopsided. You see how you saying all that? Because feelings are not facts. Girl, you done just came with something and took it over here to Porsha, and it didn't take Porsha but a minute to believe it and dump her friend. You never liked her. Just like somebody said earlier in this chat, she don't like Shamea, period. So, I mean, we need to stop trying to make an excuse for her. Missy said, I don't think she was poking at all. Porsha never showed loyalty or friendship. But yeah, but this is the thing. If you invite me somewhere, don't invite me and get me in front of a group of people and then start talking about stuff and trying to be funny and basically acting like I'm this horrible person. Well, why do you have me here? Shamea doesn't know right time, right place. She only knows how to act a fool at the wrong time, child. She need to find somewhere else to do some stuff. Child, a crazy mess. What is neg? Negging is like when people make little jokes about you under the guise of, oh, it's just a joke. When they talk negatively about you, guys do it the most. So if a man says, oh, you wearing those pants? Oh, okay. Why are you like, what's wrong with the pants? You know what I'm saying? They're trying to say something negative, but they wrap it up in a joke. Yeah, you ain't gonna get away with it, baby. I know people be knowing what they be doing. You can't joke with me like that, honey, because I'll cuss you smooth out. Yes, I am Mr. Bliss 723. I'm doing a Married at First Sight review. I said that at the beginning of the live that I'm gonna get that done, and it should be out today or no later than tomorrow. But I'm definitely doing Married at First Sight season 20. Let me see. Um, Thank you, Tania0415 for the super chat. Porsha texted Angela from her California king that she was girl, we don't know that she was going to release a tweet that vindicated her as long as she stayed in line. Then she closed the lid on her large pepperoni pizza, got to work. They are 100% in cahoots. Baby, not you done made up a whole scenario. Allegedly. Let me add allegedly to the end of your comment. Girl, I'm not gonna play with you. She said, yeah, that's what it is, honey. They are in cahoots. Thank you for the super chat, Olympia. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. The Jazz says Shamea came on the show last season, making her whole storyline about her best friend, Porsha. Why start your first season coming at your best friend of all people? She's not a victim. Let me think back. She didn't come up. She didn't start the season like that, though. They tricked her, Jazz. They tricked her. Because listen, this is the chronological order of things that happened. Porsha comes on to the scene, the first episode, she's late. They go in there because she's trying to help Shamea change her clothes. Shamea says a little bit of something. They get over it because how dare you be late for my very first scene as a peach holder. They get past that, and now it's time for them to get on Drew. They've already discussed that they're going to have some words for Drew because she's trying to film with Dennis. So Porsha said, listen, I'm going to let you lead the charge so that I don't look too bad. Here we go. Hey, Drew, are you seeing Dennis? I would be inauthentic if I didn't ask the questions. And everybody's sitting around looking like, say, what now? Drew is like, what? Dating Dennis? Well, they said y'all was down to the club matching and whatnot. When you're out in the club, don't think I'm not. And Drew was like, oh my God, girl, what? Delusional. And then Porsha was sitting there looking like, tag me in, tag me in. So then she tags Porsha in. Porsha says, you are a low down, dirty individual. Can I break the fourth wall? The producers was like, what? Girl gone. So they pushed, okay, let me break the fourth wall. You text Dennis, and I'm sitting up here thinking, girl, that's the fourth wall. Girl, bye. So Shamea was already starting to defend Porsha before it got started. Let's get past that because that's the end of that scene. Porsha cusses her out. They all jump in the pool. Then she goes for a dinner with Britt and Kelly. Britt and Kelly want to know, why she still that lady husband? Shamea says to them, why don't you ask her? You guys need to get to know Porsha before you just start talking about her. That's my friend. Okay? So then they kikied a little bit, got up and left. Now it's time for them to go to the gym. So it's Angela and it's Drew and it's Shamea. Drew and Angela already knew what they was going to do before Shamea even walked in. Because as soon as they sat down, Angela was like, why are you speaking for Porsha? Why you her lap dog? What you speaking for Porsha for? She was like, I wasn't speaking for Porsha. Well, you asked the question for her. Shamea said, no, I didn't. I asked the question for myself. Well, why are you going to say, did she F Dennis? Shamea said, I didn't say, did she F Dennis? I said, is she dating Dennis? So then Drew sitting there like, she don't remember. Girl, you were in the scene. So Angela got to saying whatever she said. And then Shamea was like, can you not talk over me? I was speaking. Well, I wasn't finished what I was saying. And Shamea was like, you weren't talking. I was speaking to Drew. And then Angela sitting there looking crazy. And then Shamea said, I've had enough endorphins for today. I'm going to leave. We are now on episode 3. Okay, let's keep going. Episode 4, they decide to go down to the vault. Shamea is, back that thing up. They go to the Balmain event where Kelly is telling us about OI. So Kelly is having her event, and then these two get to getting into it. Don't do it, Papa Smurf. Okay, Flavor Flav. Well, you better take it back with that 99 nose. Her and Angela were getting into it because this was off the heels of them going to the gym. Angela wanted to come in peace. Shamea was like, okay, girl, well, are you going to be yourself today or are you going to be Drew? And she's like, I always be myself. So then they start fussing. Shamea goes over to Drew. She says, Drew, I want to apologize to you. You know, I feel really bad. Can we just make a clean start, have a clean slate? Because Drew is on the outs with Porsha. She knows the only way to get to Porsha is through Shamea, and maybe she can help her in some way. So Drew was like, okay, we can make amends. Yeah, girl, we good. They hug it out. Drew brought her sister with her. Porsha is sitting over there with her bags and her hands clutched because she got to pay the divorce attorney to get rid of Simon. Drew goes over to Porsha and says, Porsha, can we talk right now? Because we can do it right now. And Porsha was like, girl, no, I do not feel like talking to you. Please get away from me. Porsha looks around and realizes that Drew's sister is there. That's why Drew got them balls. So she was like, girl, not you coming up talking to me. But then I realized your sister was there. So that's probably why you saying something. Girl, I don't feel like talking to you. They leave that scene because Angela and Shamea cannot seem to make amends because now they're shooting out insults. Let's go to the vault. They get to the vault. Shamea pulls out the little phone. She lets them hear whatever it is, but she brings an olive branch because she wants to make up with Angela. Angela accepts. She's like, oh, my husband used this same olive oil, giving very much fake. They sit down. They have a conversation. And that's when Porsha didn't know that was Shamea's voice, but she really did. And she ain't fooling me. Then we go to another scene where now Angela and Shamea have made amends. Shamea invited Angela into her home. She was like, girl, you can take your shoes off in here. I want you to be comfortable. I'm so happy we made up. And Angela was like, me too. All of a sudden, Angela comes to the studio where she's dropping some beats and she starts to plant little seeds because she never lets things go. So we're not going to sit here and act like she just came into the season making her beef with Porsha a thing. Angela made her beef with Porsha a thing, and she had to go with it. That's just how it went. That's the chronological order, of things, and that's how it happened. So I know it seems like she just came in and immediately started attacking Porsha, but there were several things that led up to it, and Angela made sure to let her know, you played in my face, I'm gonna burn all this to the ground, allegedly. Okay, and that's what she did. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Meadows in the Ghetto say, I will say the first thing Shamea said in her very first confessional on season 16, episode 1 was, people only know me as Porsha's ride or die, but there is more to me and I can outshine the best of them. Did she say that? Girl, I'm gonna have to go look back at that. I don't remember that. Girl, if she said that, okay, girl. Well, that makes, and you know what? She did say she was the nucleus and stuff too. And she brought it all together, honey. All the heifers are through her. Miss Lola Taylor says Shamea could never let anything go truly because Porsha never let her express any real grievances. The girl just lit the bomb. That's true. She was being stifled. Leisha said, right. In this season, Angela and Shamea blame her when she knows she's guilty. Exactly. Okay, hold on. Miss Lola said, y'all saying Shamea was being strategic. Y'all forget this was the same woman playing loyal lapdog for Porsha. And now she got 2 other ones. Okay. Now she got 2 other ones. She did say that, child. I did not remember her saying that. I wasn't paying attention to her confessions, girl. You don't put me on. Okay. 1 point for Porsha. Jamie says Porsha started with Shamea from the get-go, coming late and basically ignoring her on her birthday. Shamea would either look like a pushover or she would have to go at her friend, a lose-lose. But I don't think she had to go at her friend. Her and Porsha could have had a conversation even off camera or something. I really hate that they couldn't navigate this space the right way because now it just looks sloppy. You talking about the mamas not even a part of the show. You know who wouldn't have played this? Baby, y'all wouldn't have been able to do this with Mama Joyce. Oh, baby, they would have had to fade the screen to black. The way that place would have been turned all the way over. They wouldn't have been no more good. I just hate that it went to that. And now, at first it was like a mystery. Like, what did the mamas do? Like, what was going on? And I didn't mind having the mystery because it's really none of our business. But now that it's out there, it's really bad. It's bad on both fronts. And I feel really bad for both the girls that are involved. But I mean, it really wasn't a true friendship for real, for real. It was one-sided. And Shamea finally decided she was going to say something, as she should. Because nobody should have to tiptoe around and feel self-conscious or scared to speak up. And so now the gloves are off, honey, and she's sleeping with a pastor and a manager and everybody else, child. I guess. I don't know. Amina said, and if she did say that, so that doesn't mean it was Porsha she was talking about. That's true. Can't be too loyal if you're showing people my text messages. I want to know what exactly she showed Britt, because Britt is a liar. And girl, you had all that to say. You should have came down to that reunion so we could have got down to the bottom of it. And I see a lot of people saying, well, Shamea should have said this last year at the reunion. Baby, she was like a deer caught in headlights. That girl did not know what to expect. Listen, it's one thing when they bring you out for 5 minutes as a friend of, but when you got to sit there for 8 hours and go toe to toe with these girls after everything you've said in confessionals, in scenes, it's a different ball game. And she wasn't ready for that. That's why you got to know what you're getting yourself into. Porsha made it look easy, but we ain't gonna forget Porsha had some pretty heavy reunions too. So now you're sitting here and you don't know how to navigate the space. So, child, I don't think she should have said nothing because she didn't know what to say. She was so confused. It was like, what? Like she wasn't expecting that. It was truly embarrassing, Cassius. Okay, woo, that reunion was embarrassing, baby. She didn't know what to say. I have never seen anybody not have a rebuttal for anything. Now, I don't know, baby. I'm excited to see this reunion this season, though. I can't wait to see what they're going to say. Baby, it's going to be good, too. Hey, I cannot wait. Lexi Lean said, what was the point of outing Porsha's mom? What is Porsha supposed to do about her mama? Was she even born when this allegedly happened? That's what I want to know. What is the timeline? And I think it wasn't about I don't think it was about outing her mom. I think when Porsha put that tweet up, not the tweet, when she put that in her stories, she was like, not you mentioning my mama. We have never gone there. Because Shamea made it a point to say, I don't want to talk about the moms. I don't want to get into that. I don't want to say anything. And for the longest, she had not said one word. But I guess after last season aired and people were doing videos about the daycare situation, which I never knew that Porsha and her mom had a daycare, because I remember Porsha saying we had to go through the couch and try to find change to get some off the dollar menu. And I'm just like, wait a minute, where did the dollar menu come in and the daycare? Anywho, I never knew that. So I'm assuming that maybe she saw the videos and people saying whatever about her mom being this horrible person, and she bought Miss Diane's thing, and she was like, you know what, next season I'm gonna say something about your mama. You talk about my mama, I'm gonna talk about your mama. I think Shamea thought her and Porsha were gonna be the new freaking frag, but that ain't never been freaking frag. Okay, never, and it never will be. Hold on, let me go up here and get these super chats. Hey, Gigi, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, boo. Hey, Miss Yvette. Oh, thank you, Miss Yvette, for the super chat. I love y'all too. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate y'all, getting into it with me also. We have been on here for an hour and 43 minutes. I'm going to wrap this thing up here shortly because I still do need to do Married at First Sight. I love talking to y'all and getting into it. Listen, if you are a part of the replay gang, please do not take offense to any of this. These are our opinions. Please put yours respectfully in the comments and we can get into it if y'all want to get into it. But, we're just going based off what we've seen over the years, what we see transpire now. And this is just a conversation. So if you want to get in on the conversation, then make sure you comment down below and I'm going to comment back. But if you get ignorant, like that person who said I was a hate channel, you will be blocked. Moving forward. Let's move forward, y'all. Let's move on. Lady Rose said, there definitely should have been some content put with that blast. Your mom tried to sleep with my dad. Mm-hmm. Some context, I think you mean. Yeah, there should have been. But we'll know because she said, you said that my mom tried to buy your mom's daycare. And Porsha was like, everybody knows that. I didn't know that. Like, I legit didn't know that. I was like, girl, not everybody knows that. No, we don't. Like, if you weren't, scouring the YouTube streets to get the tea, you did not know that. I had no idea about that. And that's when Shamea was just like, but not everybody knows that your mom tried to sleep with my dad. I'm like, girl, what? Baby, when I tell y'all, my mouth has not dropped like that since season 9. I was completely, as Porsha says, flabbergasted. Because when she said, I said, girl, what the hell is flabbergasted? Porsha said, my mom was flabbergasted. I said, baby, not flabbergasted. Child, this is a damn fool. Not flabbergasted. Hold on. Thank you for the super chat. Simone's 7034. I'm so happy I finally caught alive. Me too. I'm happy you finally caught alive too. Hey, Queen Don Don. Miss Lola said, Porsha doesn't respect Shamea enough to consider her equal. I agree. But ironically, that humble heart of hers is exactly why she up and got all the blessings Porsha wanted. I believe in God. Child, this is just, I wonder what Shamea is feeling like reading all the discourse. Romel said, you forgot when Shamea told Kelly to not talk about Porsha when they were in her living room before the party. She sure did. She sure did. But yeah, the people they be forgetting and whatnot. She did say that. Yes, she did. She tried to run back. But see, the thing is, Shamea thought she was doing a good deed, but you really were looking silly. Because you were running some of the things back, but you weren't running them back right. And then sometimes you were putting a little extra stank on them and making it sound a way that it wasn't. And Porsha was already on edge because all these girls are new and she don't know if they're pulling up dirt on her or what. Kelly came in hot. Like, why you still that lady husband? Because, she been reading the blogs and Porsha had to automatically defend herself against Porsha. Britt is coming at Kenya full speed for whatever reason. Now that was crazy. That gave jealousy, but that's just me. So she was really trying to run the stuff back so that Porsha would know what the people were saying about her. But everybody seems to forget when Miss Diane said, be careful of the dog that brings the bone. She started it. She started it. Because if you sit here and say, be careful of the dog that brings the bone, and then Porsha ran that back to Shamea. Like, well, I was talking to my mama girl about everything you was telling me, and she was saying, I need to be careful of you. I need to be careful of the dog that brings the bone. Then Shamea sat down with Cynthia. And Shamea said, well, our parents have had an issue or something. I forgot how she said it exactly. But then she said, and Porsha is telling me how her mom doesn't really want her to be friends with me. And that's hurtful. And then they started talking about how the relationship is so good. And Shamea was like, I really love Porsha. We finish each other's sentences. She's like my sister. And she just went on and on and on. People want to make that the same thing that Porsha did. It's not the same. If I sit with one of y'all and I say, okay, well, we had some issues or our parents had some issues, but I love my friend. I'm not talking about your mama. So Shamea did not bring the mamas up first. Your mama was dogging me out. Porsha ran it back to Shamea. Shamea sat with Cynthia, said what she said. Porsha was at home. She watched the episode and then she tweeted. So she started it, period. You started it when you was talking to your mama, when y'all were getting y'all feet massaged. You started it. That's just how it is. I don't know. Shamea thought they were still friends after, I don't know how she thought they were still friends after season 9. Porsha wants the financial currency Shamea has, and Shamea wants the social currency Porsha has. I like that. I like that. That's true. This friendship was a scheme by Todd. Speaking of Todd, Todd roaming the streets because he ain't got no damn particular place to go because he done sat up there and got divorced from Candy. He should have sat down somewhere. Child, ain't nobody gonna get little Todd. Why should I fix my delivery to make it work for Todd? Who is Todd? Child, a mess. Relationships of all kinds always get messy when you let outside voices infiltrate. Facts. Just hate how everything played out. But their friendship wasn't built on a solid foundation. It wasn't. And on that note, we're gonna wrap this thing up because the bottom line is I hate that the mothers got involved. That has nothing to do with their actual friendship because y'all did make a pact to move on despite whatever your parents had gone through. So throwing it out there, y'all should have had a one-on-one conversation. But I'm happy that Shamea got it off her chest because like K. Michelle said, it probably felt like a release. She was holding all of that in. Now, one thing I do want to say though, I feel like a little bit of the anger was misdirected because it should have been toward Angela. The way that Shamea should have cussed Angela out, and I don't care what the people say. Baby, there is no way you're going to sit up and lie on me and then think you're going to get away with it. Talking about I'm sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry I come in contact with, and then I'm supposed to just put up with it? I don't think so. Absolutely not. You would have to see me, honey. It would never work. Angel said Shamea was going to let that mama story go, hoping that her and Porsha could be cool again. She was. But when it became clear that she wasn't and was turning everyone against her, it was up and stuck. True, Angel. True. She was holding out that hope. But why, though? Why would you even want to be friends with somebody that's dogging you like that? Why? That's crazy. And like I said, it's a numbers game. Everybody was that you took the one person, but see, Kelly, like I said, she is. I feel like Kelly is really loyal to Shamea, and not only because of the things that she's offering her. I think she actually likes her, and I think she actually doesn't like Porsha. And that's before she even got on the show. Because when they were talking about when Porsha was talking about the people that's gonna be on the show, Porsha was like, and the girl Kels or whatever her name is, I don't know anything about her. Girl, please. Okay, get out of here. Y'all gonna have to wait and see. She was already dogging her before she even got on the show. Porsha don't like Kelly and Kelly don't like her. But Kelly is also playing the game because she need this chick. Nana's chicken and waffles ain't waffling like they used to, allegedly. So she need this chick. But when Shamea realized that, dang, there is literally no one left. I mean, she could go over there and talk to Pinky, but child, Pinky thinks she on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, honey. She ain't got time to go. Pinky doing something totally different. She ain't on this show for real. She has her own show within this show. And then K Michelle, she too timid. It's giving weak sauce. Cause girl, why you ain't talking? So she ain't have nobody else. Like she told K Michelle, the only person I have is Kelly. And then when she found out that they made up, Shamea was like, oh hell no. But then who do I got? Nobody. Because they all friends with Porsha. And at any given moment, you're gonna be on the outside looking in. Period. That's just what it is. Thank you. Yes, y'all, please like the live for me. This is all said at the end of the day. I agree. You, Cassius, you think Kelly a user? I don't think Kelly a user. I think she's a good friend. I really do. I think she has a kind heart because I remember back to season 16 when that whole thing happened with Britt and Kenya. Kelly was the first person to walk out of there for real. And she immediately went to Britt's house afterwards with an IV therapy for her and food. And, she really was holding her down. I really think that she is loyal to the people that like her and that she likes back. I don't know. I don't think she's using because they're offering it to her. If you're offering me something and I accept it, cool. Now, if I ask you for something, that's totally different. If I'm always over here like, well, I owe $50 on the light bill. You got $50 I can borrow. You're a user. But I don't think she's a user. I really don't. S-Door 436 said, to be honest, it doesn't matter who started. Apparently, someone was lying because Miss Sarah said last year about Miss Diane. That's my friend. Baby, I love the way you write this. Because Miss Sarah said last year about Miss Diane. That's my friend. She's so sweet. It was a picture of all four of them, and they took it in the year 2022. Yes, I'm confused, honey. I don't know what the timeline is timelining about. Because what is... Child, we'll never know. All I know is I can't wait for this reunion. Shamea's not saying anything in regards to the accusations that Porsha spit out. All the ladies are reacting. Drew, never get too comfortable, baby, because you could be next. Angela, girl, gone. You better be happy we wasn't talking about that damn lie you told. And it was a lie. I don't care how people try to spin it. Well, what did she lie about exactly? She lied about the fact that she was not searching up information on this girl. She was. The lady said it clear as day. And she lied about not knowing what was said to her daughter until after she watched the show back. That is a lie. The lie detector test determined that is a lie. Okay, and I wish I could go ahead and play that clip. See, this is why y'all got to be on Patreon, because if I could play that clip, but it's because I can't play the clip, I'm just going to play this, child.
The lies. There you go. This bitch. The lies.
It's just lies. Girl, you just sit up and lie. You just make up stuff. Blessed Ian said, baby, they jumped timelines. Okay, they sure did. And we watched, some of us remember something one way and others of us remember it a totally different way. And I'm confused at the end of the damn day. But I just want to come to y'all and talk to y'all about it because when this whole thing came out, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start talking to them about what I see. Because I think some people think when I review the show that I don't know what's going on, baby. I know exactly what's going on. I'm in all the mess. I'm just not messy over here on YouTube. Baby, I'll be doing everything. I'll be right in the mess. And you better ask them patrons. They be like, now, Misha, what the hell? Baby, I'm in all the mess. Okay, I'm in it. Shamea has also stated in the past that the reason she couldn't join was Gerald. I don't think she's a user, but I think she's just as big of a liar as Porsha. Oh, yeah, baby. That's two sides of the same coin. Because she sat up there and lied on that Carlos King interview, too. There were plenty of discrepancies when she was telling her story. People are friends for a reason. Sometimes you have friends that are opposite, because I'm opposite of one of my friends. She likes to smoke and drink, and I'm not a smoker. I'm not a drinker, but we made good friends. But when Mad Day came, both of us were on hush. I would never tell her secrets, and she would never tell mine. And that's the mark of a relationship that was solid, even though it fell apart. This right here, I don't know what this is. Because if on Mad Day, you take to your Twitter and say that I'm sleeping with somebody, you're dead to me. Period. You can't come back from that. Not with me. You better find something else to do. Hold on, let me go up and see if I get any more comments before we get up off this thing. Let me see. It's so many comments. Let's see. Okay. Porsha and Shamea only know what their moms told them. That's true. Romel said, I enjoyed chatting with you, friend. Thank you, boy. I enjoyed chatting with y'all too. Miss Sherry L said she knew the way they were acting wasn't right. Kevin Reynolds 7839 said the daycare story was told by many YouTube content creators last season. Hence why Porsha made the comment. Everybody knows that already. That's my thought. And see, I didn't know. I really didn't. And that's the part I didn't know. I was watching it like, say what now? Everybody knows that. Since when? Because I feel like when you say something like everybody already know that, it seems like something that's come out on the show. Because other viewers are not searching the YouTube streets for the tea. So, she was trying to make it less hurtful because everybody knows it. No, it don't work like that. You shouldn't have said nothing about her mama, period. Okay, because if she would have took to her stories and said that your mother did something egregious to her, we would have never heard the end of it. See, Shamea been hating on Porsha. She mad because she want this and she want that, and Porsha is this and Porsha is that. But when Porsha do it, well, Porsha had, everybody did kind of know. No, that's not how this works. Just because people knew don't mean nothing. Oh, well, some people knew, honey. I don't know. Yarma, thank you for the super chat. Let's see. What's going on with this? Because they're your friend and can be an ally. Let's see. Meadows in the Ghetto said Misha will tell us a joke, but not a lie. Okay, period. Bloop. Okay, they don't like the unbiased commentary, child. They want me to be on one side or the other. Pick a side, stupid avatar. Baby, they hate my guts. It's fine. It's okay. This season gonna be over with. And guess what? We all gonna be friends again when we go over there to Potomac. Okay. So we're gonna get back together. We're gonna go to Potomac, and that's just that on that. Because the people are coming back, honey. The heifers is coming back. And we gotta see what's going on with Wendy. Y'all think Wendy going to jail? Listen, when that go down, I'm gonna come and go live, okay? But I hope that Wendy is able to pull something miraculous, honey, because they sent Karen right up the creek without a paddle. Do you hear me? Her wig was cocked to the side and everything. Braids is braiding. I don't know if Wendy's gonna go, but we shall see. We shall see, child. I just don't know. Juju, Haitians do it better. Said for Peach Juice to think that woman would do anything to her daughter was disgusting. Yeah, she know ain't nobody gonna do nothing to her daughter. But this is the thing. Shamea want to keep the stuff going, honey. She want the history to keep going where the friends, the kids are friends and the mamas can't stand each other. No, Shamea, we're breaking the cycle. I'm not gonna allow my kid nowhere I can't go. But that's just me. Now, do I think Shamea would do something to her daughter? Absolutely not. But I didn't disagree with Porsha on that. My baby ain't coming over there, child. It could never be. Okay, it could never be. Do you do Orange County? No, but I do watch it. But I don't review it because I don't feel like my demographic would enjoy it. I just don't feel like people want to hear nothing about Tamara and Vicky whooping it up. They're gonna be like, girl, if you don't get this out of here, where'd Giselle and them? Where's Gizzard? Do y'all know that Gizzard is now a part of Google? Like when you Google, why do they call Giselle Gizzard? Because, I created that and whatnot. Google gives you an explanation. I said, honey, not Gizzard that made it to Google. Gizzard, Google on Gizzard. Gizzard on Google. A damn mess. Okay, anyway, y'all, let me get off this live because I could talk all day. Y'all meet me back here on tonight for Bell Collective. If you so happen to get into that, the people are not feeling Bell Collective no more. Okay. Also, my Married at First Sight fans, please come back. Fans of the show, please come back. I am going to review episodes 1 through 3 because I got some things to say. So be on the lookout for that. There will also be pictures so that you guys can know who I'm talking about. I've started doing that in recent years. So that's going to be up as well. I appreciate y'all for the dialogue. We had a healthy conversation. It was all good. Okay. It was all good. So again, if you are part of the replay, I hope that you have enjoyed this live. Please don't get too into your feelings, honey. At the end of the day, both of them rich and pretty. Okay. Period, point blank. I hate that it happened. I hate that the mothers are now involved in it. And now we're going even lower because now we're trying to destroy the marriages. And it's just messy. Shamea, girl, get off that show, child. Get on off that show. I will talk to y'all a little bit later. Enjoy your weekend. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace. Thank y'all for the super chats. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.